Hello everybody and welcome to the G-Rated Family Gaming Channel. Today is going to be our very first tutorial in Roblox Studio. So I am just starting to learn how to do some stuff, how to do some basic navigation. So if this is your very first time opening Studio, you have found the right place. I want to tell you just basically from scratch, we're going to go over some really simple things, just a little bit of the layout. We're not going to get too complicated. We're not going to make like an obby yet. We're just going to kind of show you how to create some objects, how to change some textures, and just some basic stuff. So just to kind of take a look, we can go to this obby template, like this is what you're going to get in the beginning, and you can see in here, this is just a little sample in here. If you ever want to play a game, you can go to test over here and then play, or if you're here in the home section as well, you can just click on this little guy up here in the corner. That will allow you to test it as well. So if you just go in there, you click on that, and then that's just going to spawn your character there, and then you can move your character around. Basically, you should, we're assuming that you guys know how to play Roblox, and you know how to do jumping and all that stuff. In order to stop, so this is like if you want to test out some sort of obby that you create. This is just a little sample one, and I failed right away. So we're going to stop this test, and look here, you can click on things, and then you see on the right side there's a part. That's basically what we've got here is we've got parts laid out. So we're going to actually close this obby one. This one's got some stuff, some different spawn locations, some things that can kill you. We're going to go over that and all the details and how to create all of that stuff in a different video. But right now we're just going to say if we're opening a new one, let's go to base plate. And this is basically a simple little base plate layout. If you want this whole base plate thing, if you click on workspace over here, the base plate here, you can right click on it and then go to delete, and then you've got just a whole brand new open map. So I can Control Z as well to undo things. Also, if you want to undo and redo, those things are here in the corner. But let's just place a part here for fun. So click over here on model. So over here we've got basically lots of different options. You can select something, you can move it, you can scale it, rotate it, transform it completely. There's collisions, there's certain constraints, and there's also like basically automatic moving of things. Let me show you how to do that. So if you go over here into parts, you can pick, like, we're going to do a block, for example, but if you want, you can pick a sphere or a wedge or a cylinder or something else. So we basically created a block right there. If we want to go focus on it, because we're highlighted on it, press the F button, and that will bring us right up to it. Basic navigation through here. If you want to zoom in or zoom out, you can either use W and S to zoom in and out, or the little wheel, the little button on your mouse will help you zoom in and out as well. Also, if you want to go a little slower, hold down Shift and then press W or S, and then that will actually make things go a little bit slower, and it won't make your mouse work for the zoom in and out. Also, so that's W and S. If you want to zoom left or right, that's S and D. And if you want to go up or down, you got to press E and Q. So Q goes down, E goes up. And also, if you want to rotate a little bit on your mouse, right click, hold down the right click button, then you can actually kind of move around. So with the combination of the different keys, so I'm pressing the D button and moving around the object, so I'm doing that, and I can zoom in with W, and then I can go around it a little bit slower. So you can basically navigate yourself around this whole thing using the Q, the W, the S, and the D, and your mouse character, and your mouse in order to do that. And again, if you want to refocus, just press F, and that will bring you to focus right on whatever object you're selecting. So say we've got this object here, and we want to do some stuff with it. So we want to move it up. So over here, let's see, move. Click on move, and then the green arrows can go up and down. Hold on the red, and you can go one direction and the other, and then hold on the blue, and it goes left and right. So basically, we have a little X, Y, and Z axis here that we can use to move. If we click on the move thing, so we can also move ourselves up, and we can move this up a little bit more into space, just to kind of show you just some samples of it. If you want to scale it, click on this scale button here, and then you can click on these, and you can make it bigger or smaller. Basically, there's again an X, Y, and Z, and you can navigate around. All right, let's see. We're going to go up here. All right, so yeah, opening. So you can basically change the size. So you can take a cube and then you can turn it into a rectangle or square or whatever you want. You can make different sizes if you want to. You can also, like, if you go on the select, you can do highlight it, Control C, and then you can do Control V. So you can basically paste, and then you can select a different object. and do the same sort of stuff with that. We're going to delete that object. We're still messing with this one. If you want to click on rotate, you can rotate the object. You've got another X, Y, and Z axis that you can grab, like the red or the green. Each one will kind of move it in along a different sort of axis. So you've got the ability to rotate that anyhow you want. So that's the basics of those objects. Transform is a more of a free moving sort of option. Click on transform, you'll get these dots in the corner. So this one you can kind of, it's like grabbing a corner of a window for if you're on Windows, basically. You know, you grab a spot, you can make it shorter or taller. You can do all sorts of different stuff. You can rotate it. You can basically do all of these things with the transform button. Basically here, when we have collisions, you can have collisions turned on or off. If they're on, then basically if I have a second object, let's say I go Control V and I paste this one, I can't actually hit the object with that button, where if I have the collisions off, I can actually like run into the object. They can kind of like overlap a little bit. If I wanted to move this one, like put it on top of this and then move it down, I could actually grab the green arrow and move it through, where as you see here, if I turn the collisions on, it bumps up against it and it doesn't actually make contact with it. So that's collisions basically. So here, this right here, this rotate and move, if you have these checked, what it's going to do is it's going to move things kind of incrementally. So if we don't have these checked, see how when I move these things, it's just nice and smooth and just very linear. So if I have these on, say with the move, and I turn it up like for like 2 studs, see how each time I move it, it clicks. It kind of like clicks in place, and it's not a smooth linear. Basically, you can measure distance in Studio by the number of studs. So if you want to have like 1 stud right there, if you want to make it not as incremental, you can move that number down. You can have it just kind of smaller numbers. And if you want it to kind of move like a whole lot at a time, every time you move it a different place, like you got to drag it quite a bit, and then it's going to move a significant amount more when you do that. So that's what that is. Also, again, if you don't want it, you can turn it off. And then again, with the rotate, it's the same sort of thing. Click on rotate here, and if that's on, then only every 20 degrees will it actually make a difference. See how you've got those lines there, where if I turn this off and I rotate it, it just kind of moves as freely as I want. I could actually crank that up really, really high there, and it won't move until I've got like a good 45 degree. Oh, gotta click it. Won't move until I've got a good 45 degrees, and see how those lines sort of assist you. So that is what these are for when you check those and don't check those. Join, this is kind of if you got a bunch of different objects that are together and they're kind of joined as one, you can turn that off. I've done that before. Like I'll show you a little bit later how to kind of take your character and move and paste your character in here and move him around, and how the join really affects that. So we'll show you that in a different video as well. The part we've shown you that UI editor, basically it just kind of opens up some of this stuff. It's not really, it kind of selects this select for you basically. The material, if you click on this, you can actually scroll down and you can get different materials. So if you want it to look like granite, you can make it look like sand. You can have it look like brick. You can have it look like ice. You can have it kind of look like anything you want it. And you can also give it different colors. If you want it to be yellow, or if you want it to be blue, because it's kind of got the ice material, might as well make it blue if you want to kind of give it a diamond plate with a color. There's also different surfaces here. You can select a surface. So say you want little studs on it or something. So you can click on it, and then that surface, like if I click on this surface, see how only that surface gets the studs? And if I click on this surface, that one gets the studs as well. Or if I want inlets, I can click on that and that'll get inlets as well. Or if I want something like a little hinge, it can like look like there's a hinge on there as well. So there's all sorts of different surfaces that you can add on top of these. So that's up to you. This is basically the simple how to grab a little device, how to create a part, how to do the different materials, and that's how to do the basic navigation through here. Over here on this terrain, this kind of gets to where if you want to build some terrain, you can generate something here. Like you can go in here on the base plate. You want to generate like some plains or some hills. Go in there. We're going to add it. We're going to add something right there. So see how we've got this shape right here. We can change the shape as well. If we want, we can go down here and we can click on this. See how we click on that button and that makes it more of a square. Click on this button and it makes it more of a circle shape. But basically you can do all sorts of stuff. You can make it much bigger. You can make it even stronger. Let's just do a circle right here. We'll just kind of show you basic. So you can do a bunch of these. You can have them overlap. There's no collision issues. There's no issues about collision. So basically, you can make your terrain look however you want around here. There's also different things here if you want to paint the terrain a certain color. If you want to make it kind of like sanded, you can kind of hover over a certain area. You can make this smaller and smaller if you want, so that you are just highlighting a certain area. Or let's see, we want to do some sandstone in here. So basically you can change the outer texture of what the material looks like for your terrain. Also, if you want to just kind of grow, you can grab this, and again, you can pick on the area, and if you click on it, you can see how it grows, that little area. And also, if you want to have it go smaller, you can click on erode and have it all erode. So basically, you can make yourself any sort of map that you want. You can just go around this whole entire base plate. You can create as much of the terrain as you want. You can smooth things out over here. So that's kind of like going to smooth it out, but that kind of like gets rid of it a little bit. It does a little bit of corrosion. You can also click on here and subtract, so basically anything you click on just gets rid of it. It's basically kind of like an erase tool for any of the terrain that you've got. Or if you want, you can be creative. You could create like a tunnel. If you go through here, you can see that down here, we've eroded this a little bit. Okay, so I gotta go Q to go down. So you can actually create like tunnels or whatever you want in your terrain. So you can basically make the map look however you want through that terrain option. This test option over here, again, there's different scripts. We're not going to go into scripts yet, but scripts are definitely something that will be in the more advanced tutorials when we get more into it. Play button, again, that's if you want to test it out, if you want to drop your character in there and have them play somewhere inside the map. Another thing that you should notice, did you see how this block actually fell on the ground when I tried to play it? So this fell on the ground because I didn't anchor it. So let's stop this, and I'll show you guys a little bit about anchoring real quick. So let's go into, we're going to do a select tool. We're selecting this, and so this thing, when we started the game, it actually fell. So if you want it to stay where it is, highlight it, and then see this thing that says anchor, and then you can see how the anchor is now selected. So now if I go in there and I play it just to test it out, see how that object actually stays in the air and it doesn't fall the way it is. So basically, if you're building something like an obby, you're going to want to anchor your objects. Otherwise, every time you start it, it's just going to cause the objects to just fall on the ground. So that is something that's very important as well. Okay, so that was the test tab, and that is just to show, whoa, okay, I forgot to anchor that object. So the test tab helps. It's nice to go in there and play it and then just check out what you're doing and test it out. In the view tab here, there's all sorts of windows that you can see here. See how when I get rid of this, that's the Explorer window here on the right side. The Explorer window is very important, especially when you start getting into some more advanced stuff like adding collisions, or you can like have spawns, like when you're doing something. There's all these different options here, but like if you want to create a spawn or certain sort of things, and interactive things that move, here's a spawn location. If you want to create a spawn location for your character to start, that's the way to do it. So Explorer is very important for figuring out the logic. Properties as well is important for the logic. So if you click on this, you can also pick the color here if you want to do a different color. There's obviously more than one way to do a lot of things inside of Roblox Studio. You can pick the different material. You can kind of do a lot of different stuff about it, about how it's anchored, how it can collide with other things. So there's a lot of different properties there that are associated with it. We'll get more into detail about certain properties as we go along, but right now we're just going to kind of show you, this is what the window looks like. Game Explorer, if you have this over here, if the game's published, it'll be different, but basically all these different things in the view window show you all sorts of different extra windows. Like if you click on them all, you can see, look at all these extra, we got so many different windows here that we're dealing with. There's so many here at the bottom, so many at the top. Not many of these are we like caring about right now. So we're not going over the script analysis or the command bar. Later, you will go over that. We can look at the output. But right now, basically, I'd say the things that you want to look at the most, let's see, not the object browser. You can look at, have the Explorer, the properties, and the toolbox. So this toolbox is really cool. This is another way that you can kind of add stuff. Like if you want to grab anything from this toolbox and put it in your game, you can basically do that. And there's all sorts of other stuff that you can download on Roblox. So you grab that and then just drag it over here, and you can put that object in your game. You can decide where it is, and you can move it around just like any sort of object. You can grab a move, you can rotate it, you can transform it. You can scale it, you can make it bigger or smaller, all sorts of stuff. And there's also here in this, there's decals, there's meshes, there's audio, there's Roblox sets, there's different kinds of models, there's decals, there's stuff that you can save for your own stuff, which is really cool. Like if you want decals and you want like a really cool face or something, like say you want a scared face, you know, you can grab that and you can put that face, you know, you can put it on a character if you want. Whoa, that's huge. That's huge. But you can actually pick an object. It just got huge because I put it on the base plate. It tries to automatically fit to whatever the object is that you add it to. So if you have a character in here, you can actually do that. So I can put that. Let's see, click on that right there, and then the face is on there. So I can also look for, let's see, G-rated family gaming YT. Here in models, I can actually look for my own character here. Let's see, G, and we've got me. There's my character right there, G-rated family gaming. So I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna have just basically an avatar of him standing up here. Gonna navigate to him. So I can like click on him over here, and this is the character. I can go down, and you can basically select all different parts of his body. Like if you want to grab, say, his left hand, his left hand, and then you want to control left lower arm, left upper arm. So I'm selecting all those things. So I can grab his arm here and I can start rotating it over here. Make sure join over here is on to never, because if you're having issues, or I can take and I can just move his arm. Oh, got moved. So I accidentally unselected all those things. Let me see if I can go back up here. Let's see, left hand, left lower arm, left upper arm. So we grab the move and we can move his hand up and down. It's detached. Oh no. So basically if we want, we can make him do all sorts of animations if that's what we want him to do. We can kind of make his arm go up and then say we want to move his arm up as well. Gonna move it out. So you want to make it so he's kind of waving and saying hello or something like that. Then there you go. You can actually do that. You can move his arm around. We can scroll down here. Again, we were going to go look at the awesome little face thing. So scroll down, go to head. On his head, you will see at the bottom his face. So we can actually right click on this and then delete that face. And I can scroll up as well, say I want to get rid of his face and his glasses. So let's see, where's his, okay, Chrome shutter glasses, right click, delete that. So we got rid of his glasses, we got rid of that stuff. And say we're going to get like a decal here, and we want to put that on him, and we're going to make his free face. So we're going to put that on him right there and enter, and then we can click away. See, we've added a whole different face to him. We could also Control Z if we want to add a different face. Let's say we're going to come up here in decals and look for like shocked. So we're going to find a face that's like, I am shocked. Look at this. All right. Oh, okay. So I accidentally did the, I undid the removal of the Chrome stutter glasses, so we're going to delete that. But now, see, you've got basically this character in here that is me, and he's like, ah! So he's kind of having a rough day. So let's test this out. We're going to click on play again, and then as you can see in the game, this was my spawn point that I created. We created the spawn point. We've got this motorcycle over here, which was an item that was added in there. I can actually drive the motorcycle, so it's kind of cool. So I can hop out of the motorcycle in here, and then if we go to the top of the hill, we will find that we've got my character over here doing something. I'm not sure what it is, but he's being pretty crazy. Okay, and then the other tab over here is the plugins. We're not going to go into the plugins right now. This is a little bit more on the advanced side, but hopefully this tutorial has been helpful for you guys and showed you how to basically create certain objects, create terrains, change the colors, change the surfaces, and how to basically navigate through Roblox Studio. These are some simple things you can, with this knowledge, you can go and you can create like an obby, you can do all sorts of stuff, you can create a little hangout, you can create all sorts of things with this information, and then later we'll go into more details on how to create an obby, how to create moving objects, how to create objects that are kind of moving parts and that kind of stuff. If you guys have any questions,